Yes, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Daily Dose podcast. This is episode number 4, and today we've got one of the most exciting newcomers in UK battle rap as a whole, Sam Hypes. How's it going, mate?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you.
No worries at all, man. It's good to speak to you. I actually saw you a couple of years ago now, I think it was. So it was the Prime Cut events in Cardiff where you battled Rubik's. I wasn't actually aware of you before that battle. I'd not seen you before that, but the rate that you've been, progressing since then has been really good to watch, man. But how was it that you got into battle rap from the beginning?
I think when I was younger, like me and my mates, we used to do a little bit of like the MC and the bounce music and stuff like that. So we was always around like doing bits of music, and then I started watching like the old Don't Flop battles. Like I think the earliest, like I remember, I'm not sure the earliest I remember, but I definitely remember one of the first battles being the Eddie P, Frisco, Matter and Lunacy battle was like one of the battles that I watched with my mates, and like I started getting into battle rap then. Like that really got me into it. So I started watching some of that kind of stuff and like the old like wrapped in wire battles and stuff like that. I think that was the first like kind of stuff I started watching. What really got me into battle rap at first.
Okay. So I'm guessing Wrapped in Wire was kind of fairly local to you as well then.
Yeah, it was Manchester. Like I think it was like the where it was mostly at. It was like I don't think it was around for too long, but that was where I tried out first. That was a league that I tried out on the very first battle he had against Luminous from Scotland. Battled it in first in my first tryout. I wrapped in wire.
Do you know what? I don't think I've seen that battle actually. To be fair, I might have to see if I can track that down. But was how far in was Rubik's then?
At that time,
So
well,
was Rubik's like your second or third battle or something like that?
I think Rubik's. What I did is I tried out for wrapped in wire, and battled a couple of different times. I did a really old flash battle for Don't Flop against a guy called Woods from Norwich. And I didn't used to be called Sam Hypes at the time. I used to use a different name called Chaotic. So I did that for like I think I only had about 3 battles, and then I stopped. I had kids and stuff like that, so I stopped it for a little while. And then when I come back to battle rap a few years later, I'd sort of been like writing a lot and stuff, and I come back with calling myself Sam Hypes. And I think Rubik's was like my second or third battle.
Right. Okay. Nice. Yeah, man. And it's just been you've been climbing up and getting better and better ever since. Really. I mean the last few battles, especially, like I think the Yanif battle in particular was a really strong performance on your end, and it's good to see you climbing the ranks as quickly as you are. Like, what's your? I know it's a bit of a weird time to discuss 2020 plans with the way things are going right now, but who like interests you in 2020? Like, is there anyone in particular that you want to cross paths with, or?
Well, Viper battle was lined up on the Beast Anchor pod. That was a battle that I wanted for a while. I like Diaper's style and his energy. He's like a little bit aggressive, and he's a little bit like my style. And I think both of us together would be every single round. I can see it being crazy. So I wanted that battle for a while, and that's something that I definitely want to happen once all this is over and done with. I'm hoping that it's going to be rescheduled for when. Well, I guess we'll see when we can reschedule it for. But that was the battle that I did want, and obviously that was lined up. So after that, there is a few people that I would like to battle, but this year everything's crazy, so I don't know if we're going to get that in. But Diaper was the battle that I definitely wanted to start off with.
Sure. No, it does make sense as well. I'm a Darper fan too, and I
Yeah,
think
definitely.
he's got that aggressive style, but he's also really funny. Like he switches it up really well, and
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
think
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
good battle actually. I agree with that. But nice. But yeah, like, have you got like any? I mean, you're kind of making your way across most leagues at the moment. Like you've been on Premier Battles now. You've done Prime Cut. You've done Don't Flop recently. Was it? the Leicester event you battled on. Is that right?
The incognito event, yeah. I jumped on that. I battled graphic grammar on that. That was a sick event, man. Like I liked the way that they did it. You know, like we didn't know till the day we turned up on the day. We just had 1 3 minute round, and like that was good. But I battled for a couple of different times for Don't Flop, and like the events were always cool, man. So I just like I don't really. I see a lot of people sort of say, "Oh, I just fuck with one league, I fuck with one league," but I'll take a battle if the opponent's good and like the event's got good people on it and like it's a good battle. Like I'll always take it, you know. Like I'll always go to wherever there's a decent battle, man. I'm always down for that.
That's it, man. It's the best way to be. I think people get too kind of self-invested in the like the battle rap bullshit. I guess like
Yeah, yeah.
all the beef that's going on. Fans really don't need to get involved in that, or like other battlers don't need to get involved in that. If you're not affected by it, then it's no one's business at the end of the day. And don't flop and Premier battles. Exactly. No, I agree, man. And like, don't flop and Premier battles are both putting on really good events, like really strong events, and it's just supporting both in it. There's no need to flip between, but cool. Yeah,
Same thing as that like Beast Anglia as well. Like since they've come about, they've started to like do some decent things. And like the last event where I battled Toucan, that was a crazy event. Like, and obviously this one coming up where it would have had Georgie and Bobby and me versus Darby was other names on that card that would have been like really good battles. So like they're doing something good for themselves as well. So that's good for the scene as a whole as well.
definitely. Yeah, I'm really interested in speaking to them further because I've only really become aware of them within I'd say the last few weeks, to be honest. I had a bit of a busy start to the year, but they're the events look good as well. They seem to get a decent crowd in there, and yeah, I'm interested to see what they do moving forward. Because
Yeah.
did you was it you that battled Toucan on his return? Is that right?
Yeah. That was the one. Yeah, that was the one I battled on. The that was down in Colchester. That was a fucking sick card, man. That was a really good event, and like you said, like the crowds are really good, and the full event, the vibe, and that. I said to Georgie at the time, and I said it recently to Georgie again. Like it's the same atmosphere, like excuse me, like a Dub Scandal event. Like, it's really fun. Like the event was really good, man.
I was just gonna say it does look similar in that sense. Like it's not really about who's on the card. People are just eager to turn up, have fun, and watch battles, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Which
that's
is
exactly
it's good to see, man. And to be honest, I felt like that with the Prime Cut card that you were on. Like there
Yeah,
was, there was nobody massive on the card in that sense, but people turned up and people reacted accordingly. It was a good event. It's a shame that Prime Cut aren't really doing more regular events, to be honest. But yeah, like so far, what would you say is your favorite battle that you've been a part of?
um, I think they have a couple of different ones for different reasons. Like recently, the Toucan battle was like that was a quality battle. Both sides, completely different styles of battling. Every round from both of us was crazy. The crowd was brilliant. Like that was like one of my favorite battles. But I think in terms of probably performance wise, my second round against Tidal and my second round against Yannick was like two of my best rounds and like my most favorite to perform what I did at the time. I think like there was the two most standout ones for me recently.
Yeah, I think I've not watched the Toucan battle all the way through. Unfortunately, I might try and get around to doing that tonight. To be fair, and having a look into some more of Beast Anglia's battles as well, because they upload them all to Facebook rather than YouTube, don't they?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. They're all on the Beast Anglia Facebook page.
Yeah, I'm not like until recently. I've not really been on Facebook much, so I need to sit down and check it all properly. But for me, the Yanif battle is really strong. Like I think you beat him pretty clearly, but Yannick seems to improve every battle as well.
I
And
agree. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's a really strong battle. I like the format as well. I like that small room
Yeah, the
format with
underscore.
just a few
Yeah,
people
yeah.
in the room kind of thing. It's good, man. But what would you say is the your least favorite battle that you've been a part of so far?
I think this my battle at Dub Scandal, the second birthday against Score, probably is my least favourite. I think that's personally down to my own performance in that battle. Not anything like against Score. I mean, like, I just think I really, really underperformed, and compared to what I know I can do better than that. So I think that was the battle that I'm least impressed with personally myself. Definitely that one.
Yeah, I remember the battle. That's the event where everyone's kind of stood around the big table. Is that the one?
Full table, yeah, yeah, that's yeah. The O'Shea and Moore squad battle that
Yeah,
we on the same day. I think that was the event.
that's it. Yeah, that's the one. But I remember watching that, and the decision went to Score, didn't it? And I wasn't sure that I agreed with the decision, but I can see what you mean in terms of yourself. Like it's not a bad performance by any means, but it's not to the standard of like what the battles that you did after that, I suppose. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I can
definitely.
understand.
I don't know if maybe like that might have been the point where I think in that I tried a lot of different things. I tried a lot of like jokes more in that battle because I'd seen some of these battles and seen that he has a lot more of like a joke style. So I think I tried that and it didn't work. And I just after that I just went back to what I did like with Rubik's, just bars and punchlines, and that's what works. But obviously you got to try something different, and obviously it didn't work that time. So I think these things happen, man.
And it is a good tactic to take on Dub Scandal as well, because like we
The
said, it's such
atmosphere is
a
good for that.
like a fun time crowd that it is a good tactic to have taken. But yeah, again, it's a testament to yourself though that you feel that that's your least favorite battle, and it's by no means a bad showing in that sense. Like
Yeah,
it's not a bad battle at all. Like nobody choked or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? So it's good
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
your
Right.
opinion of your worst performance is still to a high standard in that sense. But
Yeah, yeah.
do you have like what's your writing process, and do you have like any kind of inspiration when you're writing? Like, do you write to a beat or anything like that, or do you watch certain battles before you start writing to get you in the zone? Or
Well, I think I used to up until recently. I used to I'd have like punchlines that I write just like random things as I'm walking around or if I'm at home and I think of something. I'd jot down punchlines and then sometimes I'd try and fit them into the boys that I was writing. But when I wrote for Diaper, because I had the 3 rounds ready for that. I just sat down and just wrote 3 rounds, literally straight one after another. And I think I don't know if that's down to the fact I wanted that battle and I was more eager to write for it, but that's been the way that I've started writing. I've just sat and just write and just, I sort of go back to it at the end and tweak a little bit of it, maybe like add stuff in and change a few punches. And I always make sure that I've got a good week before the battle to go over the rounds and see if there's anything that could be better. So I tend to always have a little idea of what I'm going to say. I always research the battles. I always watch who I'm battling, and I have an idea of what's going to be said. And then I'll just sit down and try and get that into the 3 rounds. And sometimes I'll take bits out if it's not as good, like obviously for timing and stuff. But I just sort of sit back at the end, see what's right. I speak to a couple of people, other people, and see what they think, and then I take it from there. Like the week before the battle, I'll just tweak it a little bit.
nice, no, it sounds like a good process, and everyone has their own process as well, don't they? So it's just interesting to see
Yeah, I have to
what
use
people
like
do.
standard pen and pad. Like I know some people are more comfortable and they can do it like straight in the head and write rounds in the head and stuff. But I tend to stick to using pen and pad and write 3 rounds and just practice them rounds and go from there.
I think I'd be exactly the same, man. Like I literally I can't memorize anything without writing it down, to be honest. So
Yeah,
I don't. I've got so much respect for people that can, people like Bobby Rex, who says,
yeah,
I
yeah,
put my third
definitely.
plan together in the car on the way here. Like it's mad to me, but crazy. But like in terms of you're from Blackburn, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What's the longest amount of time that you've ever spent traveling to an event?
Fucking hell, I think Cardiff when I come to battle Rubik's was
Yeah.
like because I come down on the coach for that, so that was like a 12-hour coach. I think that was a long, long fucking coach, man. And the Beast Anglia card that was again similar, like 11-hour coach. So I think because unless it's Premier Battles, which is tends to be Manchester, so it's just a quick train. The long ones like they always tend to be like really fucking. There's no like in between. There's no like a quick journey or like it's just a fucking massive one all the time. But I don't mind that. Like you know what I mean? Like I do it because I enjoy doing it and I enjoy the battle, so I don't mind the travel, man. Like it is what it is, man. It's got to be done, Like just got to get on with it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel your pain with the Cardiff one. Like, I live in Cardiff now. I've lived here for about 4 or 5 years or so now. But like, I go to as many events as I can, but it tends to be more so like London events, or like say there's a local event like Cardiff or Bristol, just because
Yeah,
I can get a megabus to London within 3 hours, but getting to like I've only been to one Prem event in Manchester at the moment, and it's simply because like a train is 140 quid, or I can get a bus for about 40 quid, but it takes about 9 hours or so, and like
yeah,
the majority of the Prem events start at like midday, so it means getting up at like 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever, and it's just a bit of a fucking nightmare, to be fair. Cardiff in general, but no, it was good that you came here. Definitely, I think Don't Flop are planning to do like a small room event in Cardiff sometime
I
in the
am.
near future. Um, and it'd be good to see you on that. I think that like a lot of a lot of the people that attended the Prime Cut events aren't particularly like battle rap followers. They enjoy going to the events, but I don't know how much they kind of watch it on a regular basis. So I think a lot of people in Cardiff would probably be a fan of yourself in that sense, because they've actually had the chance to see you. Um, so yeah, if you see anything about the Don't Flop Cardiff card that's coming up, I definitely recommend trying to get on it, man.
Yeah, definitely something that I would suggest like down like the first time down at the Battle Rubik's like that was so much fun, man. I had so much fun that weekend down. So if there was another chance to come and battle again, I'd definitely be up for that. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it'd be good, definitely. But you and Crash still needs to go to happen as well. Is that right?
Yeah, man, that was supposed to happen. It actually was booked, and I was like, I come down for that battle, and the night was fucking crazy. Man. Like the night before was I think Wales and England was playing rugby. I ended up watching them. Weatherspoons in Newport. Went in a club in Newport, and I was fucking steaming, and then ended up getting a little bit of trouble that night, and fortunately I missed a battle, and yeah, it was a fucking shit weekend to be fair, man. Like I travelled all the way down basically to not be able to battle and travel all the way back. But that's
Oh
something that
shit!
can rearrange in the future, though. I guess we'll see
Yeah,
what
I
happens with
do
that.
remember seeing, because the event was on the Sunday, wasn't it? And you didn't
Yeah, that was right.
didn't you
Yeah, yeah.
like spend the night in a cell or something like that? Is that correct?
Yeah, that was it, man. Like fucking, that was basically me like arguing with the fucking guy in the hotel and shit, and it's everything just like went downhill from there. And by the time I managed to message Jake, like the event had obviously finished, and it was what it was, man. Fucking, I had to go back, and obviously we wanted to reschedule it, but then like you said, Prime Cut sort of stopped, and we've not been really had the chance to find the chance to sort of battle somewhere. So something that definitely I still somewhere probably got rounds written down for that for that battle, man, because they was there, and I guess like in the future maybe we can set that battle up. But we'll see what happens with that one, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Like, did you come down on your own then, and like just were you
Nah,
staying in
nah,
Newport? Or?
nah. I come to most like 90% of the events I travel with like my girlfriend. So she was with me, and she had to go to like like the hotel and wait for me to come back and stuff. It was a fucking nightmare, man. It was just a fucking nightmare.
Shit. Fucking hell, man. So you were staying in Newport then, I'm guessing.
Yeah, yeah, man. We was in a hotel in Newport. We went to watch them in a Wetherspoons. We went to watch the rugby and shit, and then we was in a club. Not in a club, sorry, like a little boy. It was like a little American boy. It was actually a sick little place, man. It was fucking. We was just in there getting drunk, and I was like, yeah, I've got to go soon, got to go soon, got this battle, and obviously it just ended up steaming, man, and I was like. Stuff it was fucked up. But I felt bad because obviously Crash was ready for the battle. Jacob obviously was booked me for the battle, and I'd come down and it cost me to get there and like all the fucking travel and shit. And then the round, I know that Crash would have had 3 good rounds of rate Crash, and I had 3 sick rounds as well. And I was looking forward to the battle, and I know that other people were, so like a lot of people was let down by that. So that was like something that obviously I hope I can do that battle for everybody to see at some point.
Yeah, it'd definitely be a good battle, man. But in all fairness, I don't think I don't want to upset anyone at Prime Cup because I really rated what they were doing. But you didn't miss much with that event. Like, to be honest, I came back. My parents live like near, like kind of in between Bath and Swindon, and I came back from their place the morning of the event. It was meant to start at 1 o'clock, and the first battle didn't happen until about, I think it was about 7:30 in the evening. And
Right.
the first battle was Jake versus Most Prob, and there was about, I'd say, about 20 people in the room. So
Right.
I watched that, found out that Odie still wasn't going to be there for about an hour and a half or so, and I hadn't seen Brave McGraw there yet, who was meant to be battling Zayn Azrai, and it just got to the point where I was like, you know what, I can't be bothered anymore. Like, it's a Sunday night. I'm in work at 6 o'clock the next morning. Like, I can't stay anymore. And by the sounds of things, I think Odie versus Max Sherry wasn't very good. Like, I think Max Sherry choked through all 3 rounds. And I don't know if anything else ended up actually going down because they didn't release any footage. So
Yeah,
I don't think you missed a great deal of that event. But yeah, man, it was. I think it was a bit of a strange decision because, like, to put it on a Sunday, but also the day after Wales have played England in Wales, like the whole country is out drinking when Wales are playing rugby. Do you know what I mean? So it was never going to get a big crowd in there on the following day, I don't think. But yeah, it's a shame, man, because the Jake Most Pro battle was funny as well. It was a good battle, but yeah,
I've always rated
unfortunately, I
Jake.
don't think that was coming out. Jake's very underrated, man. Really underrated, I think. But hopefully he's planning on battling again soon. I'm hoping because him and Crash. I don't know if you've ever seen their 2-on-2 stuff, but they're a fucking really good team as well. I'd like to see them enter this Premier Battles like 2-on-2 tournament if possible. But
Something, yeah, that'd be cool.
one question that I am asking people that is bringing up a few surprises in that sense. So, say that you're promoting an event, you've got unlimited money to build a 10 battle dream card. Who are you putting on the card?
See, don't know the top who I would like face against each other. I don't know straight away, but I think after Shocks and Award didn't go down at the Apex, that's something that I think would definitely be cool to see. I've rated Awood like for a long time, so I think he deserves a chance against somebody like bigger. Milky, I know that like Milky's saying he's not going to battle now, but Milky, I definitely would have liked to see battle somebody like an international opponent. I think maybe like Ellipsis would have been cool. Even though I said last year that I'd have liked to see major concerns against Ellipsis, so that's another battle that maybe I would like to see. I don't know, man. Like, I think nowadays the trouble with trying to build a card, even if you've got unlimited money with the UK battle rap, is a lot of the people who are like the bigger names are sort of stopping with the battling and retiring and dropping out. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're sort of like trying to build a new crop of battlers now, and I'd sort of be trying to look at who could I put out of these people with like the newer names. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to get with the
Yeah, of course, I completely get it.
squad?
But
If I could do something nowadays, if I had the chance, I'd try and put on some of the newer battlers. I think Maverick is definitely my favourite battler at the minute who needs a chance against. I think he smashed it against Real Sick, and I'd love to see Maverick against somebody bigger from over like King of the Dot maybe. But right now, I'm not 100% sure who I would pick with like a 10 battle card. But definitely, I would like to try and put some of the newer names in battle rap into it. Like, I'd definitely look at trying to do something like that. And Maverick is probably going to be at the top of that list for me.
no, that's cool. I rate that, man. And yeah, I completely agree with Maverick. And I think he's he's not had too many battles, and I think he's pretty inserted himself within the top tier. Like he's that good. I saw the Real Sick battle live at the All Star game, and they were both like, for me that was battle of the night. Like they
Yeah,
were
yeah,
both fucking phenomenal.
yeah.
And yeah, it's interesting what you say about Milky as well. I'd never have thought about putting Ellipsis against Milky or Major, to be honest. I've always said I'd like to see Ellipsis against Lazy, but especially the Major battle, that makes a lot of sense. I'd like to see that actually, but
I think, and major concern surprised a lot of people against Chilla Jones as well. So that would be something I'd definitely fucking like love to see that battle.
yeah, no, I agree. There was a lot of talk about Milky going up against Frack. I saw on Twitter
Yeah.
not too long ago. That would have been really good as well. But it's it's a real shame that Milky's kind of no longer able to battle, man, because he looked so comfortable with it. Like even the All Star game in the final against Visual, like that's a big room that he battled in, and like he's up on stage with a lot of people watching, and he just didn't seem phased by it at all. He definitely had, he had huge potential, but
I
there's
think he gets. I think he gets better. He's got better every time, Milky. Like obviously in the academy, being like going through the academy with him, and he just got better every single time he battled. Like he did really well, and even at Dub Scandal, he smashed it. He smashed every battle he was doing at Dub Scandal. So I knew he was going to do well in the academy, and hopefully, like we say, hopefully maybe one day, man, we might get that fight battle. Like
fingers crossed. Yeah, I'm a big fan of him as well, man. But yeah, no, I can see what you mean, and putting like up and comers on the cards a bit more is also a good strategy, and I like how that's what I like the most about the academy setup. If I'm honest, like they seem to be putting not just tryouts on, but like people that don't really get the chance to have much experience. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
hopefully we get to see more of that. But have you like in terms of battles that you've had so far, like as what would you say is the best bar that you've had against you, like the one that's kind of made you stand back and think, fucking hell, I was not expecting that kind of thing.
Um, I'm trying to think now. you know, it's funny because most people, and like I think a lot of people tend to say the same things. And, I'm trying to think. I think Tidal actually is rebuttal. Tidal's rebuttal in the his first round. That was definitely it. Actually, thinking about it,
Yeah.
I said something about jumping ship because it to do with him going from the academy and then to battling on Don't Flop cards, and I said something to do with jumping ship. You'd be jumping ship like Somali pirates, and like got a good reaction. But he started his first round with a flip about Somali pirates, and I am the captain, and the reaction was sick, and like I didn't expect it, and I only put the little bit into my round to sort of connect two parts of the verse together, and that literally give him like the ammo to come back with a really good rebuttal. So yeah, probably I'd say that from Tidal was probably the bar that I wasn't expecting most than any other one.
Yeah, that's a fire rebuttal as well. Fair play to him. He's really stepping it up with his like rebuttals lately as well. He's his last few battles, he's had quite a few really good ones. To be fair to him.
Yeah,
Um,
I expected it. I'd seen his battles before, and he starts more or less every battle now with something. So I knew that there was going to be something, but that was a really really good one. So I big up for that anyway, man. He was sick with that.
Definitely. And in terms of like bucket list battles, like say, is there anyone long term that you're aiming for? Like who would be kind of your 5 dream battles in that sense?
Um, I think if I had the chance to battle anyone, like I'd probably say, right, I'd like to battle Yunnan. Like in the future, I think Yunnan would be a battle I'd like to have. Again, obviously he's smashing it again. Like he's doing really well, and his style is like really aggressive, and that's the kind of thing that I like. So that's a battle that I definitely think if I ever got the chance down the line, that's something I'd go for. Again,
Oh, it's
Haywood
crazy.
being one of
I've interviewed 4 people so far, and you're the third person to say Yunnan.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
think like he's the one that everybody wants. Like, if you're gonna want to get a chance against somebody, you're gonna want to like get a chance against somebody who's doing really well on form at the minute. Like that's like the aim of the game, I guess. So Yunnan definitely is somebody who I'd like to battle. Um, Again, like Awood being one of my favorite battlers. I think like you always want to battle like one of the battlers that you think is like that you look like you respect more than anyone. So Awood is a battle that I'd definitely take. Like, I'd love to do that battle. Um, I don't really say like a bucket list battle as in like a real top tier battle, but a battle I've always said that I think would be a good battle for myself and that people would like is Hades. I think Hades battle would be a good battle. I don't know like what other people like what you'd think about that, but I know a lot of people have said that that'd be a cool battle. So them three like are cool. I mean like the Airwood and the Yunnan definitely bucket list battles. Hades maybe something after Diaper, but yeah, definitely Airwood Yunnan just to look at first.
No, nice man. One of the things that like I'm hoping to do with this is like with these kind of questions that I'm asking, like there's not many without directly calling someone out, like there's not many ways of promoters knowing of like what battles to try and set up, if you know what I mean. So I know Rap is full have got plans to do a couple events in the UK this year.
Yeah, I've heard
Um,
about that.
and you versus Hades would be good to see if he was on it as well, man. I'm a huge Hades fan. I was talking about him to Nugget the other day. Like I first saw him on Nil 3 when he battled DMAC. And I think I was the only person in the room at the time that was adamant that Hades had won because DMAC performed well, but there was just no substance to his material, whereas Hades was crazy in that battle. And once it got released online, I think a lot more people were giving him his props. And the way he's kind of. Did you catch the Rap is Full pay per view, the Broken Resolutions pay per view at all?
I didn't. I've only seen a couple of battles that have dropped on YouTube, but like I know, like, obviously, before I even watched a couple of the battles, I know that there was some performances that really stood out. Like, I know Conlon Curd, like, apparently had a really, really good performance, and I watched that battle like afterwards against Yannick. That was fucking sick. But I know there was like, I've seen the Viz, I know the Viz like obviously smashed it with Corny. I've seen that. Um, like there was some people who I was expecting to smash it, and some people like again with like Yannick, who I didn't know how he would come out, and I know that he fucking smashed that. So I haven't seen it all, but
He did,
I
yeah,
know I've heard a
yeah.
lot about it.
Again, another battle where he leveled up, but yeah, I think that I'm guessing that the Yunnan Hades battle's going to be dropping soon, and Hades is fucking incredible in that, man. Like, I know that it was quite a split opinion on who had performance of the weekend between Hades and Visual. So it like definitely look out for that one when it drops. It's a really strong performance from him as well. But yeah, man, no, it's a good list though, and I really like the idea of you battling Hades. I think that'd be sick. Hopefully,
I think it's one of the names that I know when I spoke to like Briggs a few months ago and Bloodshaw when I was trying to set up battles for Undisclosed, he was like a name that I put like when they asked me a couple of people who I wanted, and he was one of the names that got through into the list. So that's something that I would like definitely try and look at after I've managed to get the Diaper battle sorted. So like yeah, that's something I would try and sort out down the line.
Nice. No, I like that, man. That's good. But yeah, essentially, mate, that's pretty much it for the battle rap related questions on this. But like, do you make music at all?
Not really anymore. Like when I was younger, I used to do a little bit like with my mates and make tunes and that, but they weren't really like I didn't really pursue it like as much. It was sort of just a little bit of like a mess about with my mates. And it was actually around that time I was doing that I started doing like battle rap tryouts. And once I got into the battle rap tryouts, and like that just sort of took over. I never really bothered. I do write like every now and again boys to beats, but I never do anything with them. I just sort of leave them to the side. I should probably really do something with it, but I never tend to.
That's fair enough, mate. No, it's like I've never heard any music that you'd released, so I just wasn't sure if you made music or not. But in terms of like your music taste, is it like predominantly hip hop, or are you are you not that into hip hop? Like, what do you listen to?
Absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Like anything. Like I literally, my playlist on my phone goes from like grind tunes from like people who are like obviously more mainstream skeptical, like Stormzy kind of stuff, and then I've got like because it'll go straight through to like Shot Yora's new album, and then there'll be old '90s rap music, like anything like there could be odd pop music in there. Like I listen to it depends, man. Different tunes for different reasons. I'll listen to different music for different things. So I'm not really one person to stick with one kind of music. I literally have a playlist full of different stuff, man. I don't really have a certain taste, to be fair.
No, I'm with you there. I listen to a lot of different stuff as well. I'd say like my main music is probably hip hop and grime, really, but I do listen to all sorts. Like, who would you say are like your favorite lesser known artists, like artists that people might generally not be aware of?
I think I don't know how much like would say not aware of, but like I listen to a lot of stuff from like dialect. Like I listen to a lot of his stuff, and I used to listen to a lot of Bill's Eyes tracks. Don't really listen to as much of that anymore. But like people who tend to be in like the battle scene and like who drop music, I'll always try to listen to their kind of music. I think like it's obviously good to support them and like try and get it out a little bit more, but I always try to do that. I always try to listen to music of people who is like closer around to me and people who I know through like the scene and stuff. I always try to get into that kind of stuff before anything else. To be honest.
Nice, man. Yeah, like as well as just doing interviews, there's a couple of other like sections of the show that I'm looking to do. Like, and one of them is battle rap music news. Like, I want to start like reviewing battle rappers' music and like making sure people know when battlers are releasing new music as well, just because I think it's massively overshadowed. And like, until I was saying to LSD yesterday, like, I tried to find his music before because I knew that it was on Spotify, but like when you search Dead Boy on Spotify, there's so
So
many
hard to
different
find.
artists that come up. It's hard to find. You know what I mean? So I just want to try and make it a bit more accessible in that
I
sense.
know
And
he has changed
yeah,
his name now, hasn't he? So he's changed his name to like slash dead, I think now. So to try and make it a little bit easier, I
that's
think he
it.
said.
Yeah, yeah. I listened to a preview of his new single that he's going to be doing, and it's good, man. I liked it. But
So,
yeah, you mentioned the Shotty album as well. Like the Salt of the Earth album was very like there was some mixed reviews on it because it wasn't Shotty's kind of regular sound. But I'm with you. Like I was a huge fan of that album. Like it's good to see him branching out into that
it's
kind of
one of
sound.
the
That like
yeah, definitely. I agree with that. Like, it's good for him to do something different, and like, it was a surprise, like when he brought it out. But it's one of the albums that I listen to like more than others. I think every track on it, there's not a bad track on it. I think every single track on that was fucking like amazing. Every single track was brilliant. So I always go back to that all the time, man. That's still sick, man.
agreed, yeah, and it's just such a Manchester sound as well. Do you know what I mean? It really
Yeah,
did suit him. Yeah, yeah, I completely agree, man. And I get a bit annoyed. I saw a lot of posts on the forum around the time that he released it saying, he's just trying to copy other artists and trying to sell out kind of thing. And it's just like I don't understand why people need to fucking put people in these boxes like that. Just
I
enjoy the
think
fucking
genre and
music. Do you know
like
what I mean?
the influences for where he's from in it. You know, like you see that in loads of people's music. I think it is you're gonna get that no matter where you go. Like whether that's London, Manchester, like not even in the UK. Do you know what I mean? Like America, whatever. People get influenced by obviously people who they listen to, and Manchester's got a big music scene on it. You know, so the music sounding like that is obviously like it's obviously going to sound like that. That's the kind of thing that he's gone for. But I think it worked and he pulled it off, man. Definitely pulled it off. I think it was
Definitely.
sick.
And I suppose what the fuck does Shotty care about people's opinion on a forum? Like he's been touring Canada and touring the
Oh yeah,
UK
that's
off
it.
it.
That's it. Yeah,
Fair play to him, man. It's like I really enjoyed seeing that. And it's crazy how popular he is in Canada as well. Like I think obviously hooking up with Dead Mouse had a big part to play in that. But yeah, it's good to see because I've always thought, even though he's one of the most successful musicians from our battle scene in that sense, like I've always thought he's been very underrated at the same time and like underviewed at the same time, but branching out with the Salt of the Earth album's definitely going to help that long term. So it's a good move for him. But if you had to pick your 5 favorite albums off the top of your head, do you know what you'd go for?
off the top, I don't know. Like, I don't think I would have five, but I think Hybrid Theory, Linkin Park, definitely be
Okay,
up there. Like,
nice.
that's something that I used to listen to like more than anything else when I was younger growing up. I think majority of like Eminem's albums, like all of like most of them, like the Slim Shady LPs and stuff, like there was albums that I used to listen to a lot. Like I don't think I'd have five, to be fair. I just sort of tend to just drift through different music, but definitely if I had to pick an album that is an album that I'd definitely like say was one that I'd always remember being something I listened to most would be Linkin Park's.
Nice. No, that's a. I didn't expect that. To be fair, that's a different answer. I like it, but yeah, I was a fan of them when I was a kid as well, and like especially, I still listen to the like link up album with Jay-Z fairly recent, like fairly often as well. So yeah, good choice, man. But just to finish the interview off, there's a couple of like quick fire questions that I'm asking people, just completely random. But if you could go on holiday anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Well, I'd probably. I always say like when it comes to like holidays and stuff, I never want to go to somewhere where I just like lie on a fucking beach and do nothing for a week or something. I always want to go somewhere where I can see shit. So I'd like to probably go to like I've always said I'd like to go to like see like the Colosseums, the pyramids, things like that. Anything like that is more interesting to me. I think anything along those lines, I'll be happy with.
Nice. No, I completely agree, man. I can't fucking just sit down on the beach all day. Like it would drive me fucking
It
mental.
hasn't interested me at all. It's no interest in me at all.
No, I've never been on like, well, when I was like 17, 18, I did all like Ibiza and fucking Zante and that and got that out of my system. But since then, like I've never, I lived abroad for like 6 years and I've always liked traveling and stuff, but I've never been on like what you'd call a summer holiday in that sense until the summer just gone. Me and my missus went to Thailand for about 5 weeks, about 4 weeks, and it was, I enjoyed it, but there's so much to do out there that we were never really just sitting on the beach. You know what I mean? It was.
Yeah. I always agree with that. I think if you're going to pay the money to go on like holidays, thousands of pounds, like I always think you're better off going to do something that you're going to remember more, you know, than just going and drinking like for a fucking week. And I think when I was younger and I had like my two little boys younger, I didn't really get the chance to go and do all that kind of stuff. So if I had the chance to do that now, like older, I'd go for that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Definitely, man. Yeah, some like work colleagues of mine last year paid like 2 grand each to go all inclusive to Jamaica for 2 weeks and didn't leave the resort. It's just like, what's the point? Like if you're gonna go on a resort holiday, just go Tenerife or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Just spend less money. Like they're all the same in that sense, but it's mad. But where's the best place that you've been so far, do you think?
Like probably like when I was a little bit younger with my family, like with to Barcelona, there was we did a lot there, like Spain. We went to see a lot of different things there. That's probably one of the things that I remember more when I was younger with
Yeah.
like family and stuff. I think it's always
Yeah,
better when you're
Barcelona
younger.
was cool.
Like everything's better when you're younger, innit? So
Oh, 100%. Yeah. No, Barcelona's a cool city though, man. That's nice. But what's your favourite sport team?
Tottenham.
No, okay. Wow. I was about to say nice, but it isn't. I can't stand Tottenham because my old man's a Tottenham fan, but I'm a Liverpool fan personally, so I'm in a bit of a weird position at the moment. I don't know what's going on with the league.
You'll be biting your nails. I'm guessing you're biting your nails, like.
I'm shitting it, mate, to be honest with you. It's the first time potentially the first time I'll ever see us lift the trophy, and it might not even fucking happen. But who's your favourite player? Oh, really? Yeah, it's tough times, mate, to be fair. We've not had it easy I'm kind of late 20s and I've never really, all I've seen us do is win the Champions League in that sense. So it's not been an easy time. But who's your favourite player?
It's always, I think Harry Kane, like he's fucking sick. But to be honest, like I think he's really good. But I've said the same thing to somebody else recently. I think Tottenham. The thing with Tottenham is we're maybe like just 2 or 3 signings off being a team that is serious contenders for like Premiership titles and like other trophies and stuff. But we always seem to be like just not good enough.
I talked to my dad about this a lot, man, and like it seems strange to me that while Pochettino was in charge, like obviously, you know, it shows because obviously you guys reached the Champions League final last year, which is a
Yeah,
huge achievement. But like to have for him to have done that, having signed what was it like one player in the space of about 3 years, it's fucking mental. And like as soon as he leaves, he gets well, one. I suppose he got a bit of money to use in the summer, didn't he? But like it's just it's been a bit of a bizarre one for Tottenham. I think if they'd have their defence has always been perfect, and they've had Harry Kane up front. It's just been making that midfield a bit more solid, isn't it? And
yeah. I think that's what signings just to strengthen like certain places. We could do something really good, but like, I tend to not watch as much sports as I used to. Like I used to a lot, but I just don't seem to find the time for it anymore, man. Like I wish I could really, but I never really have the time. I constantly seem to just be writing all the time. That's all I ever seem to find myself doing, man.
fair enough, man. That's good though, but it's got to be pretty difficult watching Musa Sissoko week in week out as well. So I don't really blame you in that sense. But yeah, final one, man. And this is random, and I'm hoping to get a better response to this than I did from LS Dean, to be honest. But what would you say is the go-to snack?
The go-to snack.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell. See, I thought, do I have to pick one? Does it have to be just one?
You can go for two or three.
Two or three? Right. Barbecue Pringles. Definitely has to be barbecue Pringles, have to be in there.
Okay.
These little extreme fucking chewits. These little like sour chewit things.
Yes. Yeah, that's more like it.
They're another level then. And if I could bring one thing back that I've never been able to find since I was younger, it's these fucking little green Solero shots ice cream thing. That's like the fucking goal to come bring back to my life if I can ever find that.
Did they come in like a plastic tub with like a circle top?
Thing, yeah, man. It was, and like there was little green lime balls of fucking ice or something like. Yeah, there was bad.
I remember them actually. Yeah, it's a good shout, man. I like that. Yeah, I asked LSD yesterday, and he said chocolate raisins, and I nearly had a meltdown.
Sound,
But
yeah. I imagine chocolate.
that's it, mate. Hanging. But anyway, it's been really good to have you on. Anyway, man, have you got anything that you wanna plug or anything you want to shout out at all?
Nah, man. Just I'll hopefully definitely come like get me back on again. I've my second round for the Beast Anglia online tournament will be out like tomorrow, Sunday maybe. So check that out as well. But that's basically everything, man. Like I said, thanks for having me on, and definitely get me back again sometime in the future.
Yeah, I will do, man. It's it just seemed like the perfect time to start something whilst everybody's kind of in a lockdown situation. It's easy to get interviews done, but I'm definitely looking to do this long term. So we'll arrange something in the future. But I'll put all your socials and stuff in the description to the video as well, man. And yeah,
Cool.
continue smashing it, mate. But thanks for coming on.
Take it easy, man. Thank you.
You too. Take care, man.
You too, bro.